What would you do if you got the call? You know the call I'm talking about, the call about a loved one who's critically sick or injured. It could be a parent, a spouse, a brother or sister, maybe even your son or your daughter. Well, I still remember the day that I got the call. It's a day that changed my life forever. I was working in my dental practice. Look at the happy faces. The patient's happy, the staff is happy, even the owner's happy. Or is he really? Is that just a mask? It was a little bit before noontime. I was finishing up on a patient when a staff member came up behind me and put a Post-it note in front of my face and said, "Dr. Phelps, you've got to take this call right now." I looked down at the note. It said, "Jamie Scott, Houston." And I thought, Jamie Scott. Oh my gosh, I ran for the phone. "Oh, this is Dr. Phelps." "Dr. Phelps, this is Jamie Scott, Houston, Texas Children's Hospital. We have a liver for Jenna. The Angel Flight team will be flying her and her mother to Houston in 30 minutes. Well, I felt my heart beating in my throat. My heart was beating in my throat. Sweat was developing on my forehead. See, my daughter Jenna, who was 12 years old at the time, had been diagnosed with end-stage liver failure just 2 months before as a result of high-dose chemotherapy that she had to take to treat leukemia and also anti-seizure drugs to treat epilepsy. The drugs were just too toxic for her liver, and the liver was failing fast. There's no dialysis for liver treatment, so you either get a transplant or you don't. A zillion thoughts were passing through my head that day as I raced to the Dallas airport to take the flight to Houston, 5 hours away by car. I could think ahead, and I was apprehensive. I was scared. There was a battle ahead of us. There's no guarantees. Would we get days, weeks, months, hopefully years? But the main thing I thought is, I've got to change my life. My life was literally passing before my eyes, and I wasn't even living in it. How many of you have ever felt like that? At least once. What you know about me is I was successful in business, but I was so successful, so busy, that I was absent when Jenna was first diagnosed with leukemia at age 2.5. I know a lot of business owners who are successful, but they're absent from their family and their friends. How many of you have heard the term golden handcuffs? For those of you who have not, what it means is that you're successful in your business, but your business has you chained. Your business controls you. You become the business. How many of you, by a raise of your hands, have ever felt like this? Or know someone whose life is like this? We've all been there. Many are still there. And that's why we're here. And it's not our fault. That's the way we were trained. That's the way we were brought up. Our parents and society tell us, get a good education, get a job, get a career, even own a business. Well, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of a business? Sure, it's to make money. It's to serve people. But the real purpose of a business is to create autonomy and freedom in your life. What good is a business or all the money if you can't spend time with your loved ones and your family because the business has you strapped down? I was simply letting the business run me. Folks, this was a wake-up call. Don't wait for yours, use mine. How many of you are parents? This is your worst nightmare. A 15-inch incision across her abdomen, 12 inches up her sternum, and there's nothing you can do. Nothing at all. This is what I was dealing with. All the money, all the experience, all the training, all the wisdom, didn't mean a damn thing anymore. All I could do was hold her hand and pray. You see, I had to make better business decisions. But really what I had to do is I had to make better Jenna decisions. How many of you know people who need to make better Christopher or Cameron or Jackson or Sarah decisions. I had to put my family first. I had to run every business decision from that point on through the paradigm of my family to better position me so I could be with my family. Does that make sense? Well, fortunately, I ran into these two no BS guys riding around on a bull. This was my turnaround. This newsletter was my mindset and gave me the strategies and tactics to transform my business. And if you'd like a bonus, every month when I take the newsletter out, I make notes right on the outside the envelope of all the key topics and strategies so I have a quick index at my fingertips. I couldn't get enough of Dan's books. In fact, I read them everywhere I could go. And folks, you're not supposed to do this, but I just couldn't put it down. No one was going to get in my way. Not the tailor, not even my patients, who were actually getting a little bit annoyed at that point. But the one focus became, how can I run my business with my daughter 5 hours away, fighting for her life after tragic surgery? I had a revelation one day. I was listening to a CD. Dan was talking about McDonald's and their systems. And I thought, you walk into McDonald's, you go up to the counter, and you ask, may I speak to the owner? Where's the owner? The owner's not there mixing milkshakes. The owner's not working the fry basket or slapping together burgers. The owner's making all the money, but they're not there. There's a manager there. I was the manager in my business. I was turning the lights on and off and working the thermostat, making sure supplies were available and dealing with staff and patient issues. I had to think more like an owner. Let me show you what I did, and maybe this will help you create some freedom in your life. We did a lot of marketing, but I broke it down into 5 key strategies, which I call the 5 points of the Star of Hope. We started a reactivation campaign, retention of existing patients, for the first time ever, a referral culture in our business, direct response marketing in everything we did, and we added personality to our marketing. The reactivation letter was a 3-step letter with different copy, different reason why, different incentives, deadlines, and offers. We went back 3 years, mailed it out to 720 patients, a cost a little bit under $2,000, returned 227 patients, 1-year average value of $1,208 for a total return that year of $274,000 and ROI of 140 to 1. Remember that. A hard copy newsletter, again, first time we'd ever done this. We incorporated personality, direct response marketing, call to action. We mailed this out every month, $1,500 per month for an investment of a little bit under $10,000. Returned 72 new patients, a total return of $131,000 for an ROI of 13 to 1. Referral culture, one way we did it was to actually create personalized cards for our doctors and our staff so that they could pass them out to other patients in the community. And we incentivized both the patients and the referral source with premium gifts and other incentives. Cost for this, $1,200 for the printing of the cards, and premium gifts and other incentives ran $45.60 for a total return of $190,000, ROI of 42 to 1. We added personality to our practice. You can be the personality, your employees can be, but since I wasn't there, I created the Tooth Man. And Tooth Man was all over the community. Tooth Man was having lunch with the county judge. We got great PR on the radio and in the local newspaper. Here's Tooth Man with our hygienist in one of the local schools, and we put Tooth Man in a lot of our direct response marketing. Our Yellow Page ad before GKIC was a typical image ad, all about us, credentials, features, no call to action, no offer whatsoever. After GKIC, we initiated attention-grabbing headlines. We used third-party testimonials and always had some type of lead capture mechanism, in this case, a 24-hour free recorded information hotline. The Yellow Page ad in 3 different books ran $11,000 for the year, returned an average of 50 new patients, total of $324,000, an ROI of 29 to 1. Our website, again, big brochure. We were very proud of it. We spent a lot of money with a direct marketing company specializing in dentistry. Anybody spend a lot of money on a website that looks like this? One big brochure, no call to action, no offer whatsoever. After GKIC, we implemented we reduced it to a very simplified form, added an opt-in box so we could capture leads. And if you'll notice on this version, the eyes of the two females at the top are looking away from the opt-in box. By making one small change, we turned their eyes toward the opt-in box, added more attention to our headline and to the free report, and doubled our opt-in. We used 5 different mini websites with different keyword phrase portals. Total investment was $2,100, return an average of 32 new patients per month, 22% conversion out of those opt-ins, 8 new patients per month, $175,000 return for an ROI of 84 to 1. So the summary is reactivation campaign, $162,000, the newsletter, $131,000, the referral culture, $190,000, Yellow Page ad, $324,000, website, $175,000, for a total one-year return just shy of $1 million. But that's not the important number. The important number is 0, because that's the amount of time I had to spend in my business. You see, I'd been working 60 to 70 hours in that business as the manager. I went from the business controlling me to me controlling the business, just like the owner at McDonald's. And then, to top that off, I sold the business last November. Folks, that's your goal. Now, I'm not saying you need to work 0 in your business, but you need to create a business to fit your lifestyle. And I was no longer absent from my family. When Jenna was back in the hospital last summer, 50 days in a row, dealing with acute rejection issues, I could be there with her and not worry about the business. I can also be with her when she's well. Now, there's 2 organizations that made a huge difference for me and my family as we went through this terrible time. Certainly one was Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle. These principles and strategies that Dan and Bill provide gave me all I needed to really transform my business. But you know what? It's also all of you. You're the community of GKIC, and without you, you gave me the inspiration, the courage, and the stamina to fight through this. I didn't feel like I was the lone warrior. The other one was Make-A-Wish Foundation. How many of you have had any experience with Make-A-Wish or know somebody who has had? Well, about 18 months after Jenna had her transplant, she was well enough to travel, and she got her wish. That was a trip to Disney World. I got my wish. I got to be with her. And let me tell you about my proudest moment. Last October, about 2 months after Jenna was released from the hospital, her face was still puffy from the steroids. I had the privilege and the honor to escort her at her high school homecoming court. Folks, let me ask you a question. Which lifestyle will you choose? Life is what God gives you, but the style is what you make of it. Your life is your life. Your business is not your life. Let me wrap up with this. Let me make 3 small suggestions. 1, put your family first, above and beyond your business. 2, make decisions now. Take control of your business. Don't let it control you. And 3, let me serve as your inspiration, your wake-up call, so that you can create freedom for your business and your family. And by voting for me, Market of the Year, David Phelps. Thank you.